What up, Facebook? Yo, if you're catching this and you're on the replay crew, let me know. I love my replay army, my replay ninjas. You guys, let me know if you guys are here. We're going to talk about the training, but we're going to talk about why you need to show up to the training. If you were thinking about marketing your business, if you're going to be launching a product, if you're going to be selling services, if you're going to be running a business, running a nonprofit in 2018, you need to be utilizing Facebook Messenger. And so we're really going to talk about how you can get started, why you need to be getting started. And for everybody that's on there, I'm going to be giving a free e-commerce chatbot template to everybody who's live on the training. So register, the link's in the description there. But I just want to share with you why I feel this is so important, because I know that a lot of you guys who are watching this are digital marketers. A lot of you guys are entrepreneurs. A lot of you guys are at least I know, very early in the process, right? Because I think that that's just natural for us to be early in the process, looking for content, looking for the answers. And so if you are early and you're looking for those early sales and you're looking for that validation, you're kind of looking to find whether or not your business is going to work, whether or not your product is going to sell, whether or not this is something that you can actually, do. Messenger marketing is one of the quickest ways to actually do that. And messenger marketing is one of the quickest ways to get that validation. So it's really, an awesome place for people if they have a established business, right? Then being able to leverage messenger marketing to grow their business. It's going to grow their conversions. It's going to grow their engagement. It's going to grow their sales. But if they don't have a business and you don't have an established audience, or you don't have a big list, messenger marketing is one of the best ways to build that, right? And what I've found is that if you are trying to build a list, if you're trying to build an audience, if you're trying to build a Facebook group, if you're trying to create an audience around your product or your service, messenger marketing is one of the best things to do in order to be able to communicate with those people. So John Marco, what's going on? Steve, Audric, Edward, guys, I appreciate all the love. Let's see if we can get to double-digit loves today. So if you guys ever get any value out of my videos or out of my trainings, or if you're going to be on the training tomorrow, take your thumb and let's just pound on that love button. Or if you're somehow catching this on YouTube, give me a like if this has been valuable. So let's get into, what and why this is going to be helpful for you, because I know that there's a couple of things that we as business owners that we need to do in order to be able to create sales, in order to create customers, in order to be able to create clients. And I think the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our message out there, right? We need to be able to tell people about our business. And what's most important is not only for us to be able to tell them, but where messenger marketing really comes in is for us to be able to follow up with those people, right? For us to be able to, stay in contact and to communicate with those people. One of the most early, one of the biggest things I learned in internet marketing, digital marketing, was you got to build a list. You got to build a list. And for the longest time, that list was, physical addresses, right? Their actually home location. And then it actually became email addresses. And granted, I would tell you that it's still very valuable for you to get an email address. The challenge with email addresses is that email filters are really, really tough to get through these days. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of businesses emailing people every single day. And so it's really, really tough in order to stand out and actually get people to notice you. So I also, just find that getting people to be able to see this stuff is so much more important, right? What else? So I think that's huge. Getting people to actually, open your messages, to actually engage with your stuff is one of the biggest things that you can expect to, see when you start to utilize messenger marketing. The second thing that you can do is you can actually do what we call survey selling, right? And one, another kind of tenet of internet marketing is to staircase people up in their commitment, and to be able to, kind of get people in at a low offer and then work them up to a higher commitment offer. And what you can do in order to actually get them and accelerate the process is actually asking them questions. Ryan Levesque, he was someone who wrote a book called Ask recently that came out. It's a really popular book. And what he actually recommends is to ask people, questions and to survey them before you ever sell them something. And what this does is it does two things. The first thing that it does is it actually arms you with the information that they need in order to actually what they need, right? And it arms you with the information of what they want, their desires. And it also tells you what is their mindset, what their challenges are, what their problems are, what their issues that they are currently experiencing. So every time I do a training, what I always do is I offer people the opportunity to go through and, take a survey, which just answers basically 3 basic questions. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to automate this process, and all those answers get exported to a Google Sheet. So whenever I want to think about what do I create content on, whatever I want to think about what am I going to plan this particular, training around, whenever I want to think about that stuff, I just go back to that survey. I just go back to those answers, and I use that to base, and tell me what I'm going to talk about. So I don't like to guess anything. And especially when you're marketing something, you want to be able to find out these answers. You want to be able to, figure out what is the reasoning, what are the objections, what are the problems that people have with utilizing your service or buying your product, right? So that's huge. If you think that surveying your people, right, would be valuable to you so that you can get their answers and you can actually get feedback on what they want, and more importantly, how they word it, slam on that heart button, or if you're catching this on YouTube, give me the likes. And because what I think is so valuable is that not only do you get their answers, but also you are able to create a connection with those people. Because when people tell you their problems, like, something happens with that, right? When people tell you their problems, like, people actually, what's the word I'm looking for? People actually, they create a connection with you, right? They're bonded, to you. And so I think that by just asking people, they now know that you know what their problems are, right? They now know that you know what their challenges and what their concerns are, right? And I think that that's really, really valuable when you're trying to get those people to buy something, when you want them to pull the trigger, when you want them to take you up on your services, because they have to know that you get them. People don't buy because they understand something. People buy because they are understood. So Edward says that standing out and being the brand is one of the hardest things for him. And what I would share with you is that what I learned is that we don't have to be anybody else but ourselves. That is our best brand. That's the best branding for us, is our truth. And to be honest about what our truth is, and to be honest about who we are, and to really get aware about that, and find a way to be able to share that message, to share that story, so that we can find other people who align with us, right? What was amazing is when I had my live event actually it was 2 weeks ago now, at the Influencer Summit, what was funny is people walked in and they said that they felt like they were in a room full of their friends. And that was because I found a way to put out and attract similar types of people, right? I know that certain types of people are going to resonate with my material. Certain types of people are going to resonate with my, information. And what was great about all of those people is that when they got in a room together, well, they all enjoyed each other as well. And so by being yourself and by being uniquely you actually enable other people to be themselves as well. So what I would share with you, Edward, is like figuring out who that is and figuring out how you can actually share that real personality and that real truth with other people is so important if you want to build that brand, right? And the thing is that you don't necessarily have to be in front. You don't have to be the person that is in front of all of the things. What you do have to do is find out what that branding is. Yeah, you do have to find out what that truth is, because you have to be able to find that in other people, or you have to be able to hire people who embody that, or you have to be able to, contract people who are aligned with that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps a little bit with that as well. So guys, if you guys are catching this and you're getting any value out of this, let's try and get it to double-digit hearts. We're only at 3. We're gonna need some serious help today to get double-digit hearts. We've got double-digit wows before. We've got double-digit likes. I'd love to go and get some hearts today. So if you're enjoying this, take your finger and let's pound on that heart button. I would really appreciate that. So I'd also figured I'd talk about tomorrow. What we're going to talk about on the training is literally how to get started with messenger marketing, because it's one of the beautiful things that every single business could and should be utilizing and leveraging messenger marketing, right? Every single business can actually create an opportunity for them to, to interact with their customers, with their clients, even with their employees or with their constituents through Facebook Messenger. And what this does is it creates a scalable way to automate your interactions. It creates a scalable way for you to automate your sales process. It creates an automated way for you to have thousands of sales conversations all at the same time, right? Like if you would love to have thousands of sales conversations, hundreds of sales conversations at the same time, right, that are all individualized and personalized, slam on the love button, right? Like let me know it that way, because that's really what we're talking about here. That's kind of what, I don't want to say kind of, that is what we're talking about. And so I want to show you how you can actually leverage and the different ways in which you can leverage Facebook Messenger. So whether you're a real estate agent, whether you are sell products online, whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, whether you sell marketing services, whether you're a politician, whether you are a teacher. I mean, literally, there is so many ways that you can leverage and utilize Facebook Messenger, and that you can utilize these chatbot softwares to be able to increase the engagement with your clients and with your customers, or with your people, right? So, Greg, what's going on? Looks like you hopped on. Sean, what's going on as well? Roger, I appreciate this. If you guys are catching this live, obviously it'd be great to let me know, because I never know who's always there live. But if you guys give the love, like Steve and Corey and James, Vitor, Audric, Christian, I appreciate it as well. So you guys mean a lot. So thanks for hanging out. What else do we want to talk about? What are we at? We're almost at the 12-minute mark. So it does survey selling, right? And it's an interactive software that's free. Have I talked about the fact that it's free? Would you love that? Like I remember getting into internet marketing, and they told me that you have to, you need to get an email software, right? You need to get an autoresponder. You need to create a website. You need to get all these things. And I was like, damn, this is kind of expensive. And, it's nothing compared to how much it costs running a brick and mortar business. But what I would share with you is that it is much more expensive than people would care to believe. And so now with Facebook Messenger, with platforms like ManyChat and ChatFuel and lots of these messenger platforms, you can actually create an entire business for free. You can actually create, launch, validate, run a business all for free right on top of the Facebook Messenger platform. It's something that was never possible before, and the wonderful thing about it is that it creates such an amazing, and it's so much more engaging. It's so much more personalized. It's so much more of an individual conversation with that person. So no matter what business that you're in, no matter what type of business that you're in, you can start to utilize Facebook Messenger, right? So Ben, what's going on? I'm curious, what kind of industries are you guys in? Let me know in the comments, because I would love to be able to apply it to whatever industry you're in and show you how it might actually work, because I've yet to find somebody who could tell me, who could actually find, a business that this wouldn't apply to. So I would love to know what kind of industries you guys are in. Let me know in the comments, and we'll kind of get into it, because it really is applicable to all of them, and it's free. And that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, is how you can use it and leverage it in your business, right? What it can actually do. And then when we talk about, specific products or specific services, what are the steps to actually making sales? Because a lot of people, they see the tools and they see the software around there, and they don't know how to put it together. And so what I want to give you is to show you how to be able to do that. So Jeremy talks about forgiveness education, and I love that. And Corey, I'll talk about personal training a little bit, but let's get into forgiveness education, because this is just info marketing and education marketing. I'll be completely honest, Jeremy. I don't know what forgiveness education is. I can imagine, I can kind of think about what it is, but I know if I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy a program on forgiveness education, unless I am someone who is super into that space and someone who's super niched, a very, very, what we call a warm or a hot prospect, it's going to be a challenge for that person to pull the trigger right away. So what chatbots do, what Facebook Messenger marketing does, is it allows you to be able to follow up with those people, to create that relationship with them, to deliver content, to educate them, and to share with them, here's what forgiveness, training does for you. Here's how it can actually benefit for, here are case studies, right? For example, I'll share with you, Corey, in right now, like we're doing a medical massage. I have a medical massage clinic that I'm working with. And the challenge with them is that a medical massage is not like a normal massage, right? It's not just like a normal chiropractor. It's like a very, very specific kind of massage. And so what we were doing is we were getting tons of clicks. We were actually getting I don't know what just fell back there. We were getting tons of calls. And the problem was that she was getting on the phone, and these people, now I love her, I love you, Sharon, if you're out there, I love you. But what she just was not doing was not closing them, right? And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a way for us to educate those people so that by the time she got on the phone call with them, they were already much warmer. They were already much, what we call much hotter of a lead, and she just had to jump on and collect the payment information. And so what you can do through chatbots is you can send them videos, you can send them articles, you can send them blogs, you can send them different posts, you can send them different surveys, you can send them different questions, PDFs, you can send them anything that you could do with a website or with an autoresponder, you can do with Facebook Messenger. And so that's what we're doing, is now we're actually delivering a blog that we found. We're actually delivering, a Google review, a testimonial of hers. We're actually sending that to people in the follow-up after they click on the ad. What else are we doing? We're doing some other things, but that's how it can work, is that you can actually educate these people on not only what your product is, because not only do they need to know what your product is, that's really important, but what's even more important is most people need to be educated on why their people are, right? So if you guys see my sock, I'm just noticing my sock in the background here. And, I know it fell. So I have my whiteboard, my to-do list, which is almost done, and I use my sock right here to erase it. That's my go-to thing there. So if any of you guys need a good eraser, go to an old baseball sock. They just hang out and they just sit there. So that's what I would say about that. Jeremy says it's a resource center. It's totally that. For personal training, what it can do is it can create that connection with people. What I love about chatbots is it makes it really easy to send things like videos. It makes it really easy to tell stories. And what's interesting is that as opposed to email, which is like someone writing a letter to you, right? As opposed to email, which is someone who's writing a letter, a messenger marketing is much more like texting a friend, right? And if you think about how formal an email is and how long it is and like this process, like if you send someone a letter in the mail, it's kind of like this, you send something and then they take their time and then they write back to you. Well, when Messenger, it's actually a conversation that a lot of times is preloaded into the software. So you preload this conversation into the software, and then what you're able to do is you're actually able to kind of handhold that conversation with the person. And so what's great is that you can create all these individual routes. You can create this kind of choose your own story type paths, and it creates this amazing opportunity for you to be able to really create a sales conversation that is individualized for that particular customer and that particular client. So that's what you can do as well. James says he needs to be in the relationship business, connect for face-to-face appointments, right? A smaller part is locating, recruiting as well. So we actually work a lot with real estate agents, and these were actually one of our first intros into chatbots. And James will know that even with leads and with internet leads, and one of the biggest provider of leads for the real estate space is Zillow. And Zillow, what they will actually do is they will actually give the agent names and numbers of people who are quote unquote leads that the agent now has to call, that they have to pay someone to follow up with. Or what's funny is Zillow will upsell them and say, okay, we'll actually follow up for them. I'll follow up with them for you. So, Zillow is kind of, making even more money on that. Well, what's great about chatbots is chatbots can actually do the qualifying process for the agent. They can actually find the ones that are interested. They can actually find the ones that are motivated so that they don't have to get on the phone and actually qualify these people personally. So whether they're paying somebody, dollars, and they have an employee that's actually paid to qualify all these leads, that can sometimes cost tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes depending on the scale of that operation. Well, that all can be done for literally $10 a month, so $120 if you think about that. And what it does is we actually have found that it can even convert at a much higher rate. So we're converting 8%, one of our campaigns is converting 8% of the subscribers that come in into actual interested and motivated, leads that are now having conversations and actually in talks with the actual agents. So they're not just leads that these agents have to cold call. So if you guys are a digital agency, if you guys sell marketing services, if you're in the B2B space, what's great about chatbots is they can actually qualify the people for you. They can actually find out who is in the right target market, who's actually motivated, who's actually interested in this stuff, and they can make it possible for you to not actually have to have those individual conversations with each of those people. So that's what it does. Hopefully that helps, guys. We've got 6 people who have gotten us hearts. And I'm gonna see if we can get to double-digit hearts. I would love if you got any value out of that, or this is something that you think could help your business. I'm gonna ask that you take one of these fingers, and if you're on Facebook, that you slam on that love button, or if you're on YouTube, that you hit the like button. And guys, if you have any questions, comment below. Or, just comment below. That's the best thing to do. But what I would encourage you to do is to go register for tomorrow's training. Like, if you thought that today was cool, I'm going to get even more in detailed about how all of this stuff plays out and what you actually need to do to get started. So go and click the link in the description. It'll register for you. It'll register you. It's tomorrow. If you're catching this live, the training is tomorrow, January. What day is that? It's January 12th. At noon Pacific time, so 3 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's 8 p.m. UK, 9 p.m. Spain, so everybody can catch it. Get ready, guys. Messenger marketing is coming here. It's 2018, and you need to figure out how you're going to stand out in the marketplace. You need to figure out how you're going to be different, and Facebook Messenger is primed for the taking. So I'll see you guys on tomorrow's training. If you guys got any value out today, smash on that love button. That would help me. If you guys are on YouTube, hit the like button. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, comment below, and I'll make sure I answer it to you. Thank you for all the love, Cristiano, Vitor, Steve, James. You guys are all awesome. Scott, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.